Hello guys and welcome. This is Bart13t casting. We have Custodian recording, and with me today in the finals for this Game Replay's 8th tournament. I believe this is the last or second to last one before our invitational. But with me today is ISitDown2Pee for the finals. We have LAO versus Team 5. What's going on, P?
Not much. Hey everybody. Um, yep, this is the final game, so LAO coming in strong, 5-2, taking out MSI. This should be a good match. Bans right away, we have Polywog, Priest, Slither, Hellbringer, and Swiftblade so far. What are you thinking when you see those bans, Bart?
Well, right now when I see these bans, one, I see a lot of push heroes really taken out of the game. Polywog Priest out, Ophelia out, Accursed who can counter push, and then you have Slither, amazing pusher. He's got the wards, he's out of the game. So they're really getting rid of this strategy, which, when you really think about it, the most recent patch, which was the 0.3 patch, really did buff the whole push strategy. So yeah, but we got CD as the first pick for LAO, which is a strong pick, a lot of DPS, and I like it. And we'll see what Team 5's got. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the ban of Polywog Priest right now, and I think that's definitely a good ban because if anyone's seen any of the MSI games, you see a roaming Polywog Priest just taking out towers, tanking out carries. It's really fun to watch.
And actually, TSM, no. Yes, TSM versus Loaded. That's check 6. When that game actually went down, TSM just barely snagged out a win, and it was actually Polywog who ended up giving them that win. Running up to the, every time he was alive, would run up to the Sackstone, throw down his wards, and damage it, and slowly just took out that HP. Loaded had a really slow start in the middle game, and it allowed TSM to really get into their base and do a lot of work on their base. They had middle and top Raxes down. Team 5 LO Loaded making a last-minute push there. They managed to get some Raxes and towers, but it wasn't enough. TSM just came in and managed to pick off a cheeky Sackstone kill. But let's get back to this game here. We got Team 5, Plaguerider and Blacksmith, a strong lane. They got a lot of AoE power from Plaguerider, a lot of nuke power from Plaguerider. Blacksmith, same thing, slow stun. He had the magic armor reduced a little bit, so those two probably won't be in lane, although I wouldn't be surprised. That is a strong lane, but Plaguerider will probably end up being a babysitter for someone else, maybe Kronos or Zephyr or something like that. Back to LAO, we got Vindicator and Engineer. Engineer being used a lot today, it seems. A really good, just most part pusher, but he seems to be, from the last games, I haven't seen LAO play today, but Fnatic MSI really using Engineer to just kind of sit up in lane, farm up, and when it comes time, just start on his ultimate and his turret and just stand there and DPS as much as he can.
Yeah, definitely. Engineer's been used as a pusher today. He's been used as a semi-carry, a ganker. He's been used as everything. It's becoming a really strong pick, and a lot of teams are using him, so we might see some good action from him. Yeah, MSI, Plague, Blacksmith, they're probably just two safe picks. They're not really going into any strategy yet. So they're probably just looking at what they're doing over there on the Legion side.
And there it is, Kronos. Plaguerider will be babysitting Kronos. They're probably going to look for someone to combo with Blacksmith now. Puppet Master Blacksmith, not really going to be their combo. Puppet Master will probably be mid. I think one thing to note, though, is that Team 5 last two tournaments have had really, really rough tournament runs. But now to see them back in the finals is pretty good, and I'm liking it a lot. So we'll see what they've done today to really get them back in their groove, I guess. But LAO coming off of great team win. They beat TSM just recently, and TSM beat Loaded like I was talking about before. So they're going to bring a good game, and it took us 15 minutes just to get this game hosted because there was server debate, and it ended up being a EU server, which benefits more towards LAO side, whereas Team 5 is going to be playing with a bit of lag, I believe, but we're going to see how they can really cope with that. Let's go back into team picks here. Behemoth and Andromeda, last two picks, so what I'm guessing we're going to see is probably, I don't know, what are you thinking, P?
I'm thinking Legion's going for a pretty heavy gank strategy. I mean, Behemoth could fissure off people. He can turtle up for the blink too, but Andro is definitely might be used as a roamer. I'm not sure. There's a few possibilities we could see from LAO right now. On 5 though, we have Puppet and Kronos, like you said, and they're definitely going for a turtle. You can tell.
Yeah. I don't think this is going to be a carry war, though. I think, like you said, LAO going for that gank strat, which is really the reason for Andromeda really being picked. And Valkyrie coming out last pick. And it looks like they're two new players, Say Busca and F8. I've never seen these guys before. I've seen them on the roster. Haven't seen them play, but they have contributed today, so we'll see how they do in this final game. But one thing I think we should notice is that, and with Team 5 picking up these two new players, they've lost two older players, which I think haven't really been around and haven't even been rostered with Team 5 in a long time, is Levant and who's the other man? Hanny, right. And Hanny was really strong in Dota, and now he came over and now he's just like gone off the face of the earth. But let's get back to this game again. Sorry, I'm running off track here a little bit, but Valkyrie for Team 5 is their final pick. What are you thinking for Valkyrie? You trying to get a little gank in Team 5's lineup?
Yeah, Valkyrie definitely gave him gank powers now that I look at it. I mean, they do have Blacksmith, and Puppet can even help in ganks. Kronos not so much anymore because of his nerf to his leap. But, you know, that definitely helps, I'm going to say, their mid-game a bit, so it makes turtling not so tough for them. But it will be the turtle strategy overall, I think the 5 is going for.
Yeah, and one thing I think I just want to add into this, in case you guys didn't read patch notes, and Valkyrie's arrow has gotten the whole light effect taken off, so it's actually immensely harder to see, but they also nerfed the range it hits, so it's harder to hit as well, but it's harder to see, so you have a better chance to hit. But this should be a great game. I mean, when it comes down to late game, I really don't see a definite winner, but I'm going to have to say Team 5. If late game is forced, Team 5 will win. Kronos, Puppet, Valkyrie, Overpower, Engineer, and CD, in my opinion anyways. It looks like we might have a Vindicator drop here. And Andromeda, same thing. That or my side of the thing was... Yeah, there they go.
A few timeouts, actually.
Looks like they're loading back in now.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so on LAO, I think that I just completely lost track. But yeah, they're going to need the ganks to establish the lead that they need. The lead will come from Behemoth on Blink Dagger. Obviously, that's a huge initiation for the team. Engineer could even get kind of beefy with his turret. He can take out teams pretty quick. And CD, honestly, if they're getting kills and ganking like they should be doing, he's going to be able to get huge items before Kronos can even carry, and it won't be a problem. So I'm going to say LAO has a time limit to win here, and they have to get a certain amount of kills if they want to extend that time limit.
Yeah, the one thing I want to note right now is before this pause, if we go to the Hellborn side here, we got Puppet Master moving into that top lane. So we'll probably see Puppet Blacksmith top if that's the case. It leaves Plague Kronos bottom, Valk mid. I'm really kind of confused with his lane choices here, if that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, maybe they'll just run around somewhere or something, but I don't know. Yeah, you're right, that's kind of odd lanes. I was expecting Kronos Plague, like I think you said earlier, and then like Blacksmith Puppet. But yeah. Oh, no, he's going up again. Or maybe
Yep, so
Kronos in the mid?
Kronos Plague mid, which leaves Valkyrie Blacksmith bottom, which, when you think about it, it's a good lane. If Valk gets the arrow off, you know, easy gank. Even if she doesn't, though, you got the Blacksmith Magic Armor reduction plus the stun. So they do have a lot of damage output. That'll also help for Valkyrie's Call of the Valkyrie, which will do a lot of damage. And I can kind of see the reason behind putting Kronos mid with Plague. It'll allow them to keep CD really kind of down. And on top of that, it'll allow Kronos to get a bit of good farm. With that, though, we'll probably see a different Corrupted Disciple build. He'll get maybe one level of Conduit back to Electric Tide and then Static Discharge, or you might do it the other way around. Electric Tide level 2 Static Discharge, and then back to Tide Corrupted Conduit. And if they can do that, they won't allow him to really move around on runes and kind of keep him down.